Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. And we're gonna start here for the 4 hours chart first before we move for the daily, just because we had a massive drop yesterday and we're gonna estimate the situation, and based on it we're gonna of course estimate the daily analysis as well. So basically yesterday we saw an impulse unfolding toward the downside, and this was a confirmation somehow for a bear market that it is unfolding, of course, towards the downside here, towards the 70K as a potential scenario in a wave A, B, and a C as an expanding flat here, which it might hit, of course, the 67 and the 74K for Bitcoin. First thing of all, I would like to mention that as the diagonal that we were expecting here, potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 is invalidated. This wave 4 is longer than wave 2. So one scenario is already out, and currently we are very, very close for the invalidation for this impulse as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 4 is very deep and very, very close to hit the 108K 471, which is invalidation for your bullish scenarios here. Most of them, of course. Only one is left, which we're gonna see, of course, on the daily, which it can be, of course, a big ending diagonal, but we need, of course, to test this area with it. Your limits with it is, of course, this diagonal here taken from the highs and parallel, of course, to the lows. We can see, of course, that this is the maximum price that we can get as red here in case we are in a wave 4 and still looking for wave 5, because longer than this becomes, of course, wave 4 longer than wave 2. And anyway, it's gonna be very, very close for our target for a bear market. Now, if we move to the daily, and on the daily, we're gonna see, of course, where are we right now after this massive drop in terms, of course, of the channeling again, because it is our answer, of course, this channel. And as you can see, for now, we have broken this channel and retrace it again, of course, but it might still continue toward the downside. In case that we are in a potential 1, 2 here, we might see a wave 3, 4, and a 5. It can be a wave 1, 2 again, and then having a massive drop again for a Bitcoin for a massive wave 3, 4, and a 5 to hit, of course, this wave 2 towards, of course, the 67K and 70K. And that might be, of course, in confluence from this area here as a stronghold support area for wave 2, where I'm expecting here that the price should, of course, start to rebound and to show some strength towards a new bull run towards the upside. Now, this confirmation, of course, I would like to see the price decisively, of course, broken, knowing that we already broke it somehow and retraced inside it again. And I still see, of course, continuation for lower internally and on the micro level. We might still see continuation toward the downside for a wave 3 to unfold here. I'm expecting, of course, a decisive break for this channel over there. And once it happens, well, we're going to invalidate most of the bullish scenarios that we have on the table. And we're going to be, of course, looking for this one. And potentially the last bullish scenario, this one is over. As I mentioned, the wave 4 is, of course, longer. So we're going to delete this one. We don't need it anymore. And the final one that we might still have here, even in bullish but slash bearish as well, because it still can be a wave B here in a potential A, B, and a C, where you might have a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. So in case we still rebound toward the upside here, potentially in 4 and a 5 here, 3, 4, 5, it might still be, of course, an ending diagonal to finish exactly at the 1.38, since it's not hit yet. It can be hit with a wave 3 and then 4 and a 5, a little bit overshooting and then dropping down, of course, for lower prices again. But we're gonna still be in a wave B here as an expanding flat. Now, regarding the time for a wave B, if you want to have more hints here, and we get, of course, a wave B in an expanding flat, the timing for it is already perfect. Yeah, so we already reached the 1.618 here for the top for a wave B, so I believe that it is a perfection here for a wave B, and I think that this might be it, and of course it's time to move toward the downside here for a wave C. Now, in case that we still have one bullish scenario, which is still can be expanding toward the upside, which is this one, where we might have, of course, a big wave 5, which is simply an ending diagonal, all of it, where you are required here for a deep wave 4, again, of course, 0.38, 0.5, perfect fib level, in an A, B, and a C here. It might be that you have finished the A, you're looking for the B, and the C has to be finished somehow as a 0.38, and then having one final wave 5 toward the upside. Therefore, before I said, okay, 80% the bear market is there. Right now, it is 90% that the market is there. Bear market is there because, of course, we still have some slight chances here that we might finish, of course, one more trend toward the upside or a new high for Bitcoin. But the chances are very, very low regarding the time for wave B and reducing the scenario of having a small ending diagonal here as A, B, and a C. So very low possibility because of the time. Second thing here, if we are, of course, going to this area, well, it's already 100K, which is, of course, kind of like a bear trend here that we cannot really just ignore it and just wait in the top until the things rebound. Because, of course, if the things continue toward the downside, simply then we are in a bearish market. So, therefore, yes, so things are not very easy, of course, in the top. So, preferably the trend is, of course, toward the downside here. So 90% we are in a bear market here. You still have a chance, only 10%, I would say, in this area until we see, of course, a signal of strength again. If I see a signal of strength, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2, and then moving to the upside, hitting this target here as a confirmation, okay, I might confirm back 50-50 for higher prices until, of course, we break the 1-to-1 fib level. And then we say, okay, 60 to 70% we are bullish again, we might see a new high, right? But even after this new high, we might, of course, drop down again because you finish here a full ending diagram, meaning your wave 1 here as a bull run still can be finished and you start a new bear market. Well, actually, if you think smart in it, you don't want this. You don't want this because if you have a new bear market here, it's gonna take like 1 year and a half, 2 years maybe to finish a new bear market. And so we're gonna have to wait like years again to get a new bull run for Bitcoin. While if you just drop down here, your bear market is already done, half of it, more than the half of it. So I would say a couple of months is here, 4, 5, 6 months is it will be done. And we're gonna have some range in this area, starting to create some 1-2s, 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 and then start the massive bull run toward the upside. So this is what I think in Bitcoin right now. As I mentioned, 90% we are in a bear market. The next area to be estimated for Bitcoin is this area as 100K. Well, there is a chance, of course, for a little bit higher here, but the chances are very, very low during to the time here for a wave B. So this is in general what we have here for Bitcoin on the 2 hours chart here. For the micro, I'm looking, of course, for a potential 1-2 finished here, 1-2, and another 1-2 here, finished internally. So let me explain it. So if we dive a little bit inside it here, in this wave, you have 1-2, and then wave 3 here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 finished over there. Then you got an ABC, of course, with this pop to the upside. As I mentioned, be careful from it because it's simply a news effect, and it's gonna continue the trend after it, after the news effect is gone. And this is exactly what happened. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave 1, wave 2 was very, very fast here, and then of course dropping a wave 3 toward the downside. Now, how I make sure that this is a wave 3 and not an ABC again expanding flat, an A, B, and a C? Well, by taking, of course, the fib level here from the A, you can see that we have overshooted the 1.38 here. And that means that this is something unfolding for much more bearish here, which it is impulsive. It can be, again, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, a massive drop towards the downside that it might bring us to the 100K for Bitcoin. Yep, so that was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.